Good morning, everyone. We are back again with another episode of Explore Thailand.
What a nice day for us to know more about Thailand.
I know, right? What's more exciting for today is that we have a Thailander guest.
Really? Wow, it will be so fun to talk about them since our topic for today is about their communication styles.
Yes. Are you ready to get to know him?
Of course, let us see who will be the Thailander who will be with us today.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Mr. Kajorn Dwayne Onya Maniku.
Welcome to our show, Mr. Kajorn.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So, before we start and just to break the ice, can you tell us some facts about you?
Um, I'm first year college at SU marketing, yes, and I'm half Thai.
That's very good to know.
My mother is a Pinay, then my father is Thai, so that makes me half Thai and half Pinoy.
Oh, wow. That's so interesting. Have you ever been in Thailand before?
Yes, I have been to Thailand before.
But it means that you live here in the Philippines longer.
Yes, since uh, dito ako pinanganak, yeah, mas matagal.
So, in your stay in Thailand, can you tell us that you have enough knowledge about their communication styles?
Since di ako makalabas dati sa Thailand, there's a communication barrier. Pero since I can observe naman, yung communication styles nila is, especially sa Bangkok, is malakas yung boses nila. Hindi sila naninigaw, pero yun lang yung way of communication nila. Then, usually mahilig sila sa hand gestures.
So it means that you can speak Thai.
A little bit. I only know some phrases. Yeah.
Interesting. So, can you teach us some common words?
Sure. Sure. No problem.
What's magandang umaga in Thai?
Um, ang magandang umaga is Arun Sawat.
Arun Sawat.
Pero usually, di sila nag-good morning talaga. Diretso Sawati na sila agad. Sawati.
So, how about naman, Sir Ivan? Bigyan mo kami ng uno.
Crew Ivan, hi raw uno.
True Ivan. Hi,
Hi,
Rauno. Hi, Rauno. Okay.
Thank you, Kajorn. So, Mr. Kajorn, are you willing to share how you communicate in your country with us?
Sure, no problem.
So, okay. I think we're ready to start, partner.
We all know that there are different cities in Thailand. So, for our first question, we want to know if there is a difference in communication style in every city of Thailand.
Since there are two cities that I've been, which is Bangkok and Nan, as I said, in Bangkok, they are usually loud and expressive. In Nan naman, excuse me, they are usually quiet and timid. Yes.
Okay, wow. That's really interesting to know.
Did you guys know that in the Philippines, there are over 120 different languages spoken? Filipino, a standardized version of Tagalog, is the country's official language and is taught in schools across the country. Thailand is home to 71 living languages, with the majority of people speaking languages of the southwestern Thai family, and the national language being Thai. So for the second question, what is the most difficult thing about communicating with Thais, and is it really difficult to communicate with others?
I think yes, because firstly, they are not their first language isn't English. Kaya lang sa Pinas kasi um, they are usually speaking Thai all the time, and they don't have English class parang sa atin, pero as they progress naman meron na ngayon, pero they're not fluent enough. Then Yun pala, yung pag-English, hindi sila masyadong fluent.
So sabi mo nga, hindi sila masyadong fluent. But have you experienced having a difficult time communicating with them? Would you mind sharing it?
Yeah.
Or-
Sure, sure. Yung tita ko kasi, since nasa bahay lang kami, di rin siya marunong mag-English. Kaya usually ang pag-uusap namin is since by sign language, pag ayaw, ganon. Ayaw, ganon. Pag gusto, thumbs up. Yeah, ganon.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for sharing your experience.
We still have a few questions here. So for our next question, are honorifics a big deal in Thailand?
Yes, super big deal sa Thailand yung honorifics because kasi religion nila is Buddhism since yung Buddhism like puro respect yun. Kaya so parang ina-apply na rin nila sa buhay nila na kailangan may respeto ka sa mga tao.
Okay, that's really good information. But did you guys know that Thais typically addresses someone by stating the first name preceded by Kun? Example, Kun Simon. However, if the people conversing are close friends or familiar with each other, they will omit Kun. Familiar honorifics Pai or older siblings and Nong younger siblings are generally appropriate for people who are close to one another.
Wow, I don't know that. Mr. Kajorn, can you give us some examples of communication styles in Thailand that are somehow similar to communication styles in the Philippines?
Usually din malakas tayo magsalita sa Pinas, 'di ba? Like minsan sumisigaw kaya 'yon. Then yung pagpo kasi meron din silang po pero in different ways lang. Sa babae is ka, sa lalaki is crap. Pero sa atin, iisa lang is gender neutral is po. Then ano pa ba? Minsan din sa sign language pero mas maano tayo sa sa pag way of talk na malakas.
There seem to be a lot of interesting facts about Thailand, no? Communication style, right?
Yes, right. I really don't know these things, but thanks to Mr. Kajorn, I gained knowledge. So going back to our topic,
Did you know why we are really used to using po and opo when talking to elders? It is because in Philippines, politeness is expressed with the phrases po and opo.
I know that, but did you know that in Thailand, a phrase that might be used at the end of each sentence is na? These words have no meaning, yet their use in completing a statement demonstrates your politeness. Going back, in Thai culture, what nonverbal communications are considered to be insulting and a sign of respect to others?
Yung sa atin, pag nagtuturo tayo, di ba minsan ginagamit natin yung bunganga natin, like yung doon, ganun. Sa Thailand kasi, di sila, pag nagtuturo sila, talagang tinuturo nila with their hands, then bibigyan nila ng direction. So, medyo insulting sa kanila. For respect naman, alam niyo na to yung pag-close ng hands, then magbabaw, which is called Y. Kailangan talaga pag mag-greet ka, lalo na pag mga matatanda, to show respect then.
No, delikado pala. I'll be careful not to do that when I go to Thailand. Did you know that here in our country, staring is generally impolite and may be regarded as a challenge? Filipino may gaze or even touch outsiders, particularly in places where foreigners are uncommon.
Me too. It's important to respect them. Next question is, in your culture, how do you tell whether someone is being sarcastic and what is the tone of their voice?
Usually kasi yung mga kinakausap ko is wholesome, so they're not usually into sarcastic tone. But I have never encountered pa naman as far as I experienced.
So okay din pala, no? But we have 4 more questions and we surely love to hear your answers. The next question is, what are the circumstances or situations that are somewhat offensive to Thai culture but normal here in the Philippines?
Yung paghawak sa ulo, which is kasi nga medyo holy yung ulo ng paniniwala nila is the head is the most holiest part of the body. Kaya they usually protect their heads and they yeah.
We really have different communication style talaga.
So was there a time that you had to change your communication style to fit into a group with a different culture or background?
I try to mimic their accent sometimes para lang makisali sa usapan ng mga pinsan and tita ko, which gave me a good expression, but medyo hindi ako yun.
That's really great to know.
For our last questions, as a person with two different nationalities, can you say that it is hard to learn the Thai language since you live here in the Philippines?
Yes, sa alphabet pa lang nila is super hard na you need time and dedication, not as sa atin kasi madali lang yung ABC kahit sino naman madadali yung pag-intindi nun. Kaya, yes.
Today, we witnessed the beauty of the Thai language and its various forms of communication. And it was a pleasure to speak with someone who truly embodies what it means to be a Thai.
So thank you for joining us today, Mr. Kajorn. It's a pleasure to meet you. We really can say that Thailand is an interesting country that has a unique communication style.
And that's it. Thank you for joining us today. To whoever is watching this, I hope you have learned something from Mr. Kajorn.
Let us communicate by sharing your thoughts in the comment section.
Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Kajorn.
Thank you.